We are live as Morgan breaks the kitchen.
Reckon something.
I feel like this is like slow.
This is the intro.
Dun, 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 dun.
Live here. Alright,
Oh my god.
let's go. We are up and live and running.
I just like to give you guys all a little dance class before we begin. But good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of Anna Hasn't Washed Her Hair in 5 days. Just kidding. You're here live at the Good News channel with Anna Richard Dan.
Morgan Richards.
Hey, I feel like you need to move over a bit. I feel like
I'm off. I know, I do. I'm hogging all the space.
But
This is my news desk,
This
goddammit.
is my news desk. We are bringing you news from around the globe to bring you some positivity, some humour, some hope, and some lightheartedness in this otherwise crazy time. How are you feeling, darling?
I'm feeling good. It's Monday.
I haven't even actually asked him, so how
Yeah,
are you
it's
feeling?
nice. I'm glad you're finally interested in how I'm doing. No, I'm
Hey,
feeling good.
I'm always
I'm feeling
interested.
good.
Now, we do watch the comments.
This is my domain.
We watch the comments off the screen. So if you are watching live with us, do comment because we love to have chats with you. So
Okay.
we are going to start with our usual breaking news this morning of the recovered coronavirus patients globally, which as of this morning's news is at 150,920 individuals have fully recovered from the coronavirus, which is phenomenal.
Awesome. Bringing it back to news right here in Australia. I've seen this on a Channel 7 news report, and this is being reported pretty widely across a lot of news outlets. But before I tell you what it is, I don't want you guys, anyone to hear this and start getting ahead of themselves, right?
We'll get to that. We can banter at the end.
Yeah, I'm just giving this is disclosure. This is the disclaimer at the
This
start.
is a
okay?
disclaimer.
This is not
Actually,
banter, this
that's
is very serious.
It is very
Alright?
serious.
But according to a lot of news outlets and Greg Hunt, who's the Minister for Health, Australia has begun to flatten out the curve. What that means is now that we're now seeing a slower rate of infection of the coronavirus within Australia, which is basically what South Korea and Japan, who are kind of the two countries leading the way, have been able to
And
do
Singapore.
as well. And Singapore as well. So our coronavirus curve is showing early signs of flattening. So the reason why I had a little disclaimer at the start is I don't want you all to start thinking that, it's time.
This is not the time
Time
to
you
go
got-
get YOLO.
You stole my line.
Oh, did I?
You can't say this is not the time to YOLO at the beach.
Oh my god.
All right, so keep it up, keep it going.
But no, but seriously, so Greg, the Minister for Health, was actually quoted as saying the daily rate of new cases of the virus compared to just a week ago has dramatically fallen, which is phenomenal. But why it's fallen is because
Morning, Janie.
Hello, darlings. Is because we are all doing Janine. Oh, it's Janie. Janie.
Like I said, my domain. All right, you just stay there.
But it's because we're all doing so well by staying home and practicing self-isolation and social distancing. So because the curve is flattening, as Multi said, it does not mean that we can all go YOLO. Okay, so over to America now, where a Florida man has left a $10,000 tip, telling the restaurant owner he wanted each of the staff to receive $500, which they did. Staying in the States, I'm like, staying in the States with big tips. There was also
Just a tip.
Just a tip. You guys have to watch this documentary that we get it off. It's so naughty. Of course it is. There was also an Arizonian pizzeria that a customer gave the owner $2,000 as a gift. And then the owner on-paid it to his employees. So this random customer, apparently I was like reading the story, came into the store, like chucked an envelope at him and ran out. And when he opened it, it had a letter saying that she was a massive fan of the takeaway pizza and for this owner just to have it and do as he wished. Now what he's done is he then wanted to on-pay that kindness, and he went to his staff and said, bring me the bill, the one bill that's stressing you out the most at the moment. And he obviously is paying for it. So he himself is now chucking in a couple of $1,000s as well and paying for all of his staff's most stressful bills, which I think is
Awesome.
amazing.
So sticking with random acts of kindness and generosity, but a bit closer to home where we are in Australia, a generous Greek Australian man, Peter Damos, has been
Damos.
has been, as you might have seen this one already, but he's been handing out $100 cash notes to jobless workers waiting outside of Centrelink as well. And if I know anything about Greek people, that is just one of many piles of hundreds. He's got stashed under his mattress. So keep an eye out for Peter, because I reckon he's got his own cash stimulus
Peter, our
package.
address is one. No. But no, it was sweet. There's more to that story. So the lawyer, so he's a lawyer entrepreneur, and why did he hand out them?
Because he's sick to stomach after seeing people queued up, and I've seen it down at the local shopping centre as well.
Yeah.
We've got a Centrelink down there, lines for days. People who just in general had never have used government assistance and never would have actually seen themselves ever needing to use it, are now queuing up for hours on end, which is just, it's strange times.
And so he gave them all $100 cash, which is amazing, and every little bit helps. I know some people are like, it should have been more, sure, except you go give out $10,000.
Yeah. Really, people say that?
Always. Yeah. Alright, headed now to the UK, where the food delivery service Deliveroo are making 500,000 meals available to the NHS staff for free whilst they fight the coronavirus. What I love about this is obviously the front line at the moment is our medical staff and our hospital staff, our AMBOs, our paramedics, and so the fact that people are coming together, corporations are coming together, companies are coming together and helping them be fed whilst they probably absolutely do not have the brain capacity to go home and cook, but also can choose from their favourite meal. So I know we reported on my birthday edition that Domino's here in Australia were also delivering free pizzas, and I know that's still happening, and I've actually been seeing on my Instagram some photos of hospital staff like, thanks Domino's. So yeah, awesome. Bravo Domino's here in Australia.
Excellent.
Excellente.
Okay, so obviously just going back to more good news, countries whose measures of self-isolating seem to be shown to work. We're seeing now slower rates of infection in Canada and even in Italy as well. Now, Italy, they were in the shit a while ago.
Well, they
kind of still are,
but
they seem
the good news that we're focusing on is that the rate of infection is slowing.
That's what I mentioned.
Right.
Okay, Doc, here's a quote from Dr. Bonnie Henry, the provincial health officer
from Canada.
She said that it appeared physical distancing had started to slow the growth of COVID-19 in the province by as much as half.
So that's in Canada, which is huge. Because again, I feel like all that's being reported on the news is the bad stuff, but it's actually phenomenal news, like rates of growth are slowing,
and
deaths are slowing.
And what I think we're seeing now is that the general news cycle is, because the rate of growth is slowing, you mentioned this the other night, is they're starting to report less on new cases and just trying to keep people focused on...
I have a theory. Can I say it?
I can.
I've got this theory, quickly, that... So, like, turn off the news, because I have this theory. I said to Morgan, there's so much good news, like, the rates of infection are slowing, deaths are going down, so more new cases are being reported, but they're less. And I said, and yet we're not hearing about that on any mainstream media, and I think it's because I've never watched the news in 7 years, and even I've got it on sometimes at the moment. And I said, so their ratings are going up. Everyone's on the news, so they want that to keep going. So now that they're just reporting crap, turn it off. Tune in here.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you want to end the news bulletin?
No, you can end the news bulletin.
All right. Ending the news bulletin this morning with some genius business pivoting. I actually love this story. This is probably my favorite of the day. Lucy just wants to come in. From a 67-year-old man in America, Mark O'Meara, who is selling large buckets of popcorn, if only I lived in America, from in front of his closed movie theatre to support his staff who he wants to keep paying. So a large tub of popcorn takeaway will set you back $3 American. And on his first afternoon in business, Mark sold $25 worth of popcorn in 45 minutes. However, now he's averaging $300 to $400 a day in sales. So his whole ideology, he said, so he's 67, which is madness to me, and he said that he wants to, the thing that's keeping him up at night was not himself and not his business, but paying his staff, who he's like, I know they need to keep paying the rent. So this is his little way of earning income to keep paying his staff, which I think is beautiful.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so we'd like to wind these up now with a life pro tip, and this is a really, really good one because it's one that I'm going to use.
Oh, yeah.
So again, guys, if you've got a great cheese, take the block of cheese and stick it in the freezer for 30 minutes before you need to use it to try and get it nice and frozen.
Not too frozen, though.
Not too frozen, but just
too frozen.
So that way when you grate it, it's going to not all stick together. It's going to grate quicker, and it's not going to clog up in the actual grater blades itself. Boom, life change.
Everybody needs a Morgan, I'm telling you. Okay, that is Amy's channel today. Thank you for tuning back in. We hope that we spread some positivity, some hope, some happiness, maybe a couple of laughs.
Hopefully not a virus.
Hopefully not a virus. No. And my reminder to you is just to spread a little love today. I'll leave you with my hot husband.
Ciao, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow.